Welcome to the Product and Cake podcast about technology and product in a VUCA world. I'm here with Ghonche. Welcome to our podcast.
Hello, Paul. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. And how are you?
I'm really good. I had a very fun weekend, and I'm also very excited and looking forward to the week.
That sounds awesome. And I know that you already have a super interesting topic for today.
Yes. So I'm going to play Dungeons and Dragons today, and I am going to start with a new character because it's a complete new campaign that we are having, so I need new characters. And while I was trying to understand, okay, which character I'm going to build and all of that, I was also searching a little bit about product management, and then I remembered I read an article years ago on Medium about the merging different play styles of product management together. So by merging, I mean each type of product manager usually has a certain level of characteristics, and then how those characteristics can be turned into some kind of a mythical creature. So different play styles. So then I couldn't find it, unfortunately. But I tried to do a little bit more research and try to also define it for myself, that how I would differentiate different play styles of product managers and what are those different features. So, and also all of this noise that you hear is the dice that I have for D&D because I still need to build my character.
That sounds interesting. Last time we talked about how to become a product manager, or more, should I become a product manager? Because the trainee program at Adevinta started. And do you think the character of the product manager is already determined by the history or by the background of the person? Or can I become whatever I want?
I think anyone can become whatever they want, but...
Okay, this one in general?
Yeah. Well, yeah, to some extent. I think it is also related to what do you enjoy in product the most. So if, for example, you enjoy being being very much into data, or being very much technical, or being the advocate for consumers. I know that a product manager needs to have a balanced level of all of these characteristics, but it's a little bit also a human nature that you prefer one over the another. So yeah, I think you can pick and choose your play style. You can also mix these different categories together, but I think it is related a little bit to your specific characteristics as well.
Yes, definitely. And also very human to think about into these categories, and also a super nice view on teams and on product managers, because if you have this knowledge and you know which characters are existing, you could pick the right one for your project.
That's a very good point. And also, I think it is very much related to the product that we have. So as an example, I prefer to work with a product that is extremely consumer facing. I prefer my product to have a lot of end users. I don't necessarily enjoy very B2B side of things. Or when it is for a very specific targeted audience, that at the end of the day you have 10 active users, I prefer millions and millions of users on the platform.
Then you're definitely at the right place at Mobile and at Adevinta, because I'm every day shocked again by the number Adevinta published, that they reach, 3 billion users a month.
Oh, wow.
Through all marketplaces together.
Wow. That's very impressive.
Crazy. Okay, wow. But back to the game. I mean, I have to admit that I'm totally not even new to Dungeons and Dragons. I have absolutely no clue. So what are we doing now?
So, in Dungeons and Dragons, you usually pick a character. So you build your own character. And this character can have a specific characteristics. It can be, so I will just read the ones that I picked for this specific conversation, that what are the different play styles. So you can be a rogue, which is a combination of a thief and someone who's really good at acrobatics. And please, I'm very sorry for all of the actual Dungeons and Dragons players who are very experienced in this. I am going to say some things that are not very accurate, but that's not the goal of this conversation.
Okay, disclaimer set.
Yeah. Yeah, because I know that a rogue is not necessarily a thief, or it's not necessarily good at acrobatic, but it is a rogue. I don't know how else to explain it. And you can be a warrior, you can be a clerk, or you can be a wizard, you can be a bard, or a paladin. So these are all of the different classes a character can have. There are many, many more, especially each Dungeons and Dragons level and each different book comes with its own specific classes and different play styles that you can have. But these are some of the classics that are usually very common in most of the Dungeons and Dragons or pen and paper RPG tabletop games.
Nice. So exactly like all companies are coming with different style of product managers.
Yeah, exactly. So I think for each one of these characters, I picked 3 characteristics. So for example, a rogue, I added that they're a fast executor. Awareness for them is key, or they can shapeshift and adapt easily. For the warriors, I added they are a weapon master. They go and do very epic items. They do battering ram. So these are the characteristics that I added for a warrior. And for a clerk, they in games usually the clerics have some divine power. So I added divine heal. So they are able to return to the team from a low performance to bring them very high. And they try to fix mindset and applies highly effective rituals to follow. They have also divine word. They are excellent communicators. They have divine aura. The team performance will be at peak with them. And again, these are in my product manager mind plus a gamer mind thoughts that I try to combine together and come up with something funny, but also to some extent, these are, I know all of the product managers need to have a certain level of being a great communicator, but also it is the strength suit of some specific product managers that I know that they are, by nature, they're able to motivate the team. Or the next one I picked was a wizard, that they have elements of affinity, they chain lightning, and the wisdom of ages. So they clearly see how the domain that they work on is going to change. They learn the details of the past products. They know the industry quite well. And the bard, for me, had the characteristics of a wanderer. They love to chase and find conversion and retention improvements. They are visionary. They look at the big pictures. And they have tales of old. So they know not only how to tell a story to bring everyone on the same table, but also they know how to say this story in a way that connects with everyone and also with some data information from the past of the product. And last but definitely not the least, paladin that has poisonous blade. So they start with something that is very critical. They start with low-hanging fruits. They are, and another point is code of conduct is extremely important for them. They have a code of honor that they follow, the rules and ethics and the rituals of the team, they will follow to the maximum. And they are bold and they are brave. So they stand their ground and they will fight for what they believe is true. And when I was writing this also, at the end, I was going back and looking at some of them, and I was like, oh, actually, there is this person at the company that I really think is this specific character. So, what do you think?
Yeah, it's super interesting, and I like it very much. And I was already thinking on how to use that knowledge and that preparation, because now you are showing me the presentation. Should I link to something?
I just wanted to also wanted you to see it as well.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
No, I was thinking, what are we doing with that knowledge or that preparation? Would it make sense to draw them or to share them with the team, and then let the team decide, maybe a team that don't have a product manager at the moment, and let them decide, what do you think do we need? Which type of character would be the best success bringer to an existing team?
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. But also from another perspective, I think a lot of the things that we have in the processes of an interview for hiring someone new subconsciously checks for these things as well. That, for example, for this specific team, because of this reasons, we need someone with this characteristics. So it is, I think, something very subconscious that we do. And this is a very funny version of it. I just wanted to use some time to bond together these two favorite activities of mine. But also, I think it is extremely important, and it's actually kind of maybe fun for new joiners, so such as the trainee program that started, to just tell them that these are the areas that after a certain level of expertise, after you are already a very good product manager that has a very balanced level of all of these characteristics, you have the option to be a T-shaped person, to drill down in one of these specific aspects. As an example, I love data. I eat and breathe data if I could. If it exists for the product, I will do that. If it doesn't, I will fight to get it.
Yes, I know.
So even though that I come from a very user-centric background and I still have the users in mind, data is my power suit.
Interesting. I really love this kind of classifications, and we could came up with some questions to let the people answer, and then we can give them one type of characteristics as a result, like also very mentionable the 16 personalities test that has a super interesting, it's more general and not so dedicated to product managers, but it has a super interesting insight into your own working style. And also what I like most is which characteristics you can best work with. Also our friends at Ghonche AI, who did this app to become a better leader with just investing 2 minutes a day. Super catchy claim. I remembered it. And, you also do a assessment in the beginning, and then you get a type of what type of manager are you, and you get dedicated tips to it. And I love it, and I think it's super, super helpful, but it's also so important what you mentioned before to have these classifications and the knowledge about it and talk about it and where could you fit, but always open also the room to develop yourself and to become a different person if you are not happy at the moment, or the team needs a different personality to succeed faster. So the combination of giving a ground with the setup and then opening the room to develop yourself.
Very good point. Yeah, let's do it. So I will share this presentation and I will make it a little bit nicer. And there's also I just mentioned the highlights and the top points, the headlines of the characteristics, but I also wrote a little bit of a small paragraph for each one of these characteristics I mentioned. So I will link the presentation
in the show notes, I hope.
Yeah.
Awesome. It looks already fantastic. I think it's very fine for the MVP and to get some feedback from our listeners.
Yeah, let's share it.
And with that said, thank you very much for taking part and talking about different types of product managers.
Thank you.
See you next time.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Yeah, we have also this.
All right. So thank you for listening up to this point. I really appreciate it. We really appreciate it. And if you have any feedback for us, we would love to hear it, right?
Yes, totally. Feedback and questions and also opposite opinions are always welcome.
And also, if you have any recommendation for us, what topic to talk about, if you have any person in mind that you think we should interview for any specific topic you have in mind, we would love to hear that. So you can send it to us via email.
Yeah, sure. Or via social media networks, you will find us, I guess.
Yes, there will be some info of how to contact us in the description.
Yeah,
Look for it.
Or send it via snail mail to mobile.de office and write CO Product and Cake Podcast. So a lot of people will know about the podcast then.
That's a good point. Let's do it. Thank you. And bye again.